Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today we are back with another window shopping video for Hella Handmade Creations. Hella Handmade, or HHC, is another monthly pre-order marketplace. So it's similar to PPU, except it takes place over a full week instead of just the weekend. And instead of having a monthly theme that all the brands follow, each brand has their own theme. And of course, I love to do window shopping because it's always fun looking at pretty polishes, but I also try to be helpful and come up with some potential comparisons or even potential dupes. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay, so here is the website for Hella Handmade this month, and I'm already excited because it looks like it's kind of a new website. Like, you know, we have some pink instead of the teal, except for my wish list on the side. But I'm also kind of curious because looking at like the top, that seems to be a little bit different. And yes, oh my god, they did it. They actually have separate categories, so I can just look at the nail polishes instead of skipping over all of the hand and nail care stuff. So let's just get straight into it and look at the first two rows. And obviously the all mixed up pink is just catching my eye. It looks so gorgeous, but it's just another like neon pink that I think has a blue shimmer. Yeah, it's described as neon magenta with a blue shimmer. So you know, it's beautiful, right? But I already have a few in my collection. Maybe not exactly this shade of pink. Like, I would say, honestly, maybe this is like a neon version of Mooncat's Merkin, possibly, because that's like a much more cool-toned, hot pink sort of shade. So, you know, it's pretty, but I'm fine without it. And unfortunately, I don't really like anything else here, and I wouldn't say that they really give familiar vibes. Like maybe the BCB Encore, you know, this like purpley sort of shimmer. I feel like that looks like something we've seen before. Maybe the same with the Artist Nails here too, just because it's, you know, a shimmer. It's like more of a simple finish that is easy to recreate more or less. So yeah, we can just move on to the next two rows. And from here, the Bee's Knees, I feel like I saw this on Reddit recently that somebody shared a comparison of this and what was it called? Deadly Nightshade by Mooncat that just came out. I can kind of see that. I mean, in the post they did say that they were like dupes, but I feel like I could clearly see a difference in like the base color. But for all intents and purposes, it's like a dupe, you know, it's a purple base with a multi-chrome sort of shimmer. I do think this is a little bit more of a like indigo sort of purple. Maybe it's a bit more sheer too compared to the Mooncat one. I feel like that was just, I don't know, a lot more pigmented, not as blue toned, but still very similar. The Danny Viana almost reminds me of Island Pea's Pink Suede, but some of the photos are also, well, actually no, this really does remind me of Pink Suede. I feel like it kind of is a bit of a chameleon, but it's like a very light, like blush pink, you know? So yeah, this I would say is like close enough to a dupe. Ooh, the Cleona looks so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you know I love a fiery magnetic. I obviously do have a lot of red magnetics, but why am I feeling like I'm kind of blanking on something that's a bit more fiery? I mean, in some angles it does look more red, but it's definitely a very red orange. Ooh, I guess with it being red orange, I'm thinking of Glitch's Stonewall, you know, so maybe this is close to that potentially. But see, some photos just look so much more fiery. Maybe it's like an in-between of Stonewall and Marigold. I don't know, but it's a beautiful shade, but I just do not need something like that in my collection. And the last polish I want to talk about in this little section here is Crack's Ain't No Side Greener, because I just shared that in my shorts tab, so make sure to see that if you want to see my live application. But like I said in that video, I think it's like a beautiful polish where I love the flakies and the shimmer in here especially, or maybe specifically because it's the green base that I feel like it's just not for me, you know? Like, it is pretty, like it's such a nice shade of green, but I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't love on me. but I do love the little purple and blue flakes, the blue shimmer in here. That is super, super pretty. So I would like to see that mix again. But yeah, sadly, this color is not for me. So we can just keep going now to the next 2 rows. And from here, I would say the shade that caught my eye first was the Hula Moon. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I'm clearly like just craving these bright aqua sort of shades because the Dreamland from PPU, that was like my standout for the month. And now this one, oh, this is so, so pretty. It does have a really strong like greenish glow though, so I don't want to say like I don't like it because of that, but I really like it in some photos, you know, like here where it's like a little too green, it's a little overpowering for me. But here where it's like slightly more subtle, like you still get that blue base coming through. Obviously here, I like it a lot more. So, you know, kind of a chameleon. I do think it is cool for that reason. It is so, so pretty though. Truly so stunning. But yeah, I don't think I have something quite like this either. Like this is definitely a lot lighter and brighter, again similar to that Dreamland where it's like somehow I just don't have anything like it, you know. I would say this is a much lighter, almost pastel version maybe of Mooncat's River Styx, because I'm pretty sure that had more of a greenish kind of shimmer to it, but the base blue is just like an aqua color, you know. So stunning. But yeah, don't need that. So the only other one that, you know, kind of like reminds me of something is the Elb, where it sort of looks like Mooncat's Black Widow or Dawn of the Empire, but it obviously has this like hollow flake in there, so it's easy enough to recreate. I think technically this is only described as a red magnetic, but the base to me, like this part, looks black, not red. So if it is like a really, really dark red, then I wonder if this is, you know, maybe more like Island Peace Poison. So that could be maybe another potential dupe or, you know, comparison at least. But yeah, the other shades not really speaking to me. And as far as like familiar vibes, like maybe the Indie by Patty Lopez, I was gonna say maybe it's like Mooncat Sabertooth, but I wonder if this is actually closer to like a cracked blue, like PB and Blue Jay or something, because for Sabertooth I think this is a little bit more buildable or just like a slightly darker shade. But actually, I don't know, this is also kind of like really light here, super gray. So depending on the photo, I guess it could look a lot more blue or gray. But yeah, we can just move on now to the next 2 rows. And from here, nothing really standing out to me. I know I've been loving like the Nailed It Solars that they've been doing, but this color combination, not really speaking to me. I really do like the base color, like what would you call that, where it's like the non-UV shade, you know, this like tealy, not even teal, it's like a jade green. Love that. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the UV aspect, and that's really the only one I like. The Moth and Moon looks so familiar. Didn't they like literally just do this for PPU? Or maybe something very similar to it. Or I'm just thinking of like another brand, but I feel like we have seen something like this before, but I can't put my finger on it because I feel like whenever it's like a Prugly sort of color, my memory isn't the best. You know, I don't have like a great catalog to reference for Pruglies, but it just feels familiar, you know? So yeah, I guess we can just keep going now to the next 2 rows, and I would say from here, I mean, I think the Nirvana is really pretty. It is what it is. It's just a cute, you know, it's a cute shade. Ooh, also kind of a chameleon, because like, what the hell is this? Looks like a totally different polish than this, and I'm kind of loving that. I was gonna say just from like the base pink, you know, this seems a little bit, I don't know, I mean, I never had Holo Taco's Pink Fizz because I always thought that was a little too cool tone, like that's almost like a lavender pink. I feel like this is still pink, but it is a cool toned pink, if that makes sense. So I wonder if it's maybe closer to Not Today Satan, but it's just so hard to say. And this does obviously also have this like shimmer in there, right, which makes it look so crazy and like different lower lighting. But yeah, it is really, really pretty. I always love a pink with a gold shimmer, and this is definitely super, super cute. But if I didn't already have, you know, some light pink hollows, or like this photo almost reminds me of Island Peace Sweet Tooth, you know, if I didn't have shades like that already in my collection, I would probably be more tempted by it. But I can skip on it. The polish underneath that, Hard Candy, super pretty. I love how sparkly this looks. Not a shade that I would actually wear myself, but it is pretty. Actually a lot lighter than I thought, because based off of this photo, right, it looks really dark, or maybe not like really dark, but just kind of a darker leaning shade compared to this, where it almost looks, dare I say, pastel, you know? It is described as being a sheer violet purple, so I guess maybe, well, her nails are definitely a lot longer than like the other swatchers, I would say, so it's like, it makes sense that these swatches look darker. You know what I mean? Like 2 coats here looks different than 2 coats here. So I'm obsessed with this. This photo in particular is the photo that I'm like, yeah, I would buy it. But I know better than to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say initially though, the somewhat darker, you know, and the flaky bomb, like it was making me think of Island Peace Kinetic, which just came out, but this is a much more cool toned version of it, because Kinetic is like that warm red toned purple with more of like a red shimmery flake going on. But yeah, clearly just loving these photos. Like I keep going back to them. They're so pretty, but I can skip that. The Paint It Pretty Gummy Glow, I want to say this reminds me of like the ethereal that was from PPU this month. Oh, that is a beautiful photo. Oh my gosh, wait, that's like really pretty though. I love these 2 photos. See, these are the 2 photos that I would see and be like, yeah, I need that in my collection. But then once I put it on and it looks like this, I'm gonna be pissed, you know? It's just one of those super sheer shimmers, basically a topper, very magical, clearly, right? I don't know what base coat the swatcher is wearing, if it's like a blurring base, right? I mean, I would assume so, because I do not see nail line the way that I do with like anybody else, and her nails are a lot longer. But yeah, see, like you can see it is a sheer polish. But yeah, it's pretty, you know, it's just a gorgeous shade, but I don't need it. So we can move on to the next 2 rows, and from here, some beautiful magnetics. The Penelope Loose, like, you know, they're fine particle purple ones. This looks like a much more, I want to say like a much more red toned version of Wisteria. Super gorgeous, you know, but I don't need it because I already didn't get Wisteria. But speaking of like red tone kind of shades, the Pepper Polish, I really like this color. That is a pretty color. I think this is a bit more, it kind of looks darker and muted in these photos, but here it looks a little bit closer to the base of Holo Taco's Flirt Alert. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I would say maybe this is more of a fall tone version of Flirt Alert, which is beautiful. I love that, but I don't need it. And the only other one that I think is like pretty here is the Phoenix. I don't know, the toppers and stuff like look cool, but I feel like we just see those all the time, so I'm just not really interested to be quite honest. But yeah, this Phoenix looks really gorgeous. I was gonna say some of the photos almost remind me of, oh my gosh, what was it called? It was one of the Holo Taco shades. Oh, Wanderlust? Is that what I'm thinking of? Oh, it might be, but but not really. Like, it's not a dupe by any means, but just kind of with how shifty the shimmer is, like the blue base in the top right hand corner. If anything, that reminds me more of Nature Calls, which I didn't super love, but like I love the shimmer in here where it's like a bit more green, and this obviously has like reflective glitter. I kind of like do like this. This seems like a mixture of Nature Calls and Wonderlust, but with reflective glitter. So I do like it for that reason, but not enough to get it, you know? So we can just keep it moving. I feel like we're going through this so fast, which is sort of upsetting because I started this so excited because I'm like, oh my god, new website, but I'm kind of not feeling things, you know? And from here, I think I would say, okay, well, it looks like that's a duo. So I'm looking at the Ribbit Stickets because the top, like the one here on the top row, I was like, okay, that looks, you know, really cool. And I'm assuming it's like they layered. Oh, no, wait, no, they're just like alternating. Okay, they're alternating the two magnetics, which are, you know, they're nice, but I don't need more magnetics in my collection. And yeah, unfortunately, the other shades are not really doing it for me. I mean, the Psyche, I feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't even like considered looking at the Psyche. This almost, but not really, reminds me of the Tyler's Trinkets that just came out called Serving, because it like this reminds me more of just like that smoky salt and pepper diamond look that I did, while the Tyler's Trinkets is just the regular salt and pepper diamond, like not the smoky version, if that makes sense. But this also has like larger black flakes and like, you know, reflective glitter. There's more going on in here, but yeah, it's like kind of a similar vibe. So basically I feel like I could just recreate it, you know? But yeah, the other shades not speaking to me, not looking familiar, so we can just keep it going. And oh my god, we're almost at the, like, there's just one more row here. But as far as these two rows go, the Sassy Sauce Magnetic at first caught my eye because I was like, oh my god, that purple to pink looks really gorgeous. And like it is, right? Don't get me wrong. But with it being in that darker base, it's just reminding me of Island Pea's High Roller, which I de-stashed. I know this does have more of this like pink flake in the background, while the Island Pea is just a holographic, you know, silver flake. So it is a little different in that way, not an exact dupe, but super close. You know what I mean? Like they're like sibling polishes. And then the Sassy Pants Velvet Descent, this one reminded me of that super oldie from my collection called Vampire Squid, at least as far as the color goes, with this like berry red and the red glitter, blue glitters in here. This looks like a little bit of a different formulation, still a pretty color, but yeah, I'm not super, like, I love the base color of this, but I'm not super crazy about the actual little like glitters in here. I think it's just too uniform for me for some reason. Polishes like that have a uniform glitter all throughout just don't usually do it for me. So that is a shame because the base is gorgeous. If anything, I guess like some of these photos almost remind me of Honeymoon from Island P, but just different, you know? And then the Victorian varnish polishes on the bottom, the one called Fairy Dust, that looks like Mooncat's, oh my god, what was it called? Moonrise. I was gonna say Smitten, but because Polish for Days has a polish, I'm pretty sure, called Smitten, which is also really similar to that. And the other one, Pink Petticoat, being this base coat, a jelly looking base coat. As far as it being a jelly, the color that you see in 3 coats looks like Lolly Jelly to me from Cirque. So yeah, definitely can skip that. I mean, I would skip it anyway, even if they didn't look like dupes, because I'm pretty sure Victorian Varnish is a brand that I've read about on Reddit that's like either they're MAGA or racist, or like her husband was, but she's not, and I don't know. To me, that's just too much. So I'm not interested. So finally, the last couple of polishes here. I unfortunately don't love them. Like between the two, I like the Witch Cult a little bit more. It's kind of this salmon-y color, but I don't love it enough to get it. You know, I feel like this reminds me of what people would call like a mom polish, maybe even a grandma polish, but it's like a little bit more elevated because it has this subtle shimmer. And, you know, I'm not opposed to a mom or grandma shade. Like, I do like these shades. It almost reminds me of like my lipstick color. But yeah, I'm not super crazy about the shimmer in here. And the Zombie Claw, sadly, not really feeling it. And I can't think of dupes for that either. So even though it looks like it says a 1 in my wish list, I'm like 99% sure that there's nothing in here. And I am correct. There are no items in my wish list this month. So that wraps up my window shopping for June's Hella Handmade Creations shop. As always, I would love to know what you think of this month's offerings or even the website refresh, because I was definitely really excited to be able to finally just sort through the nail polishes. That was always kind of a pet peeve of mine when window shopping HHC. And I noticed this time around it went by a lot faster. I don't know if it's because there was like less to scroll through from the brands in general, or because of like the separation, or potentially just the fact that I wasn't really interested in a lot of the polishes, which I feel like was, I don't want to say a letdown, but you know, it's just not as exciting to window shop when I'm not excited by what's in the window, right? I feel like I generally had more fun window shopping for polish pickup this month, but I mean, it's better for me because I'm not buying anything. So yeah, I would love to know what you think again of this month's offerings, if you have anything in your wish list, or if you are going to be skipping, especially again because next month is PPU Rewind, which is always like highly anticipated. So let me know your thoughts down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!